Flosstube. I'm Jem, and this is my channel, Stitch and Jem, and I'm back for another Flosstube. I hope everybody that is in Oklahoma and anywhere that's going to get really bad weather this weekend has all the things that they need, mainly needles, fabric, cross-stitch supplies, all of those things, plus maybe some like milk, bread, alcohol, I'm not sure. Whatever you need in a storm, you better have it because we are about to get some terrible weather. So I pray that everybody stays safe and off the roads and can get a lot of stitching done. I have so much to show you guys today. I have been to 2 needlework shops. I've been to Samplers Symposium, and I just have a lot of stitchy love I want to show you guys. I don't have that much stitching, surprisingly enough, but I do have a finish. I have my blessing sampler finished and 1 whip, and then the rest is going to be haul and all the things from Sampler Symposium. So I'm just going to jump right in. Thank you to everybody who is returning, and welcome to anybody who's new. And okay, so with that being said, let me just jump right in. Like I mentioned, I decided to do Emily Ann Foster by Hand Across the Sea for my blessing sampler. Mine does not look like this, so I made some changes. I did not put Emily Ann Foster here. I put my name. I moved this up and I put the year in here, and I did not put these 2 little motifs because on the chart they were actually not in the same, like they weren't level and they weren't symmetrical, and so I just decided to kind of do my own thing. I don't love my blessing sampler, but she's done and I'm happy that she's done. So here is my Emily Ann Foster. I had all of this done, and then when I got to Symposium, I did the bottom. And so like I mentioned, I put my name here, Gemina C. Hudson, and then I put the year 2026, and I put the like scroll. I did all of this when I was at Symposium, and I think it turned out pretty well. It's not as, the picture will show you that it's not square anyways, and it's just kind of all over the place at the bottom, and you know what, that's how mine is too. So like I mentioned, I'm happy with it. I don't just love it, but I'm happy with it, and I think it turned out really nice. I stitched mine with 103, a Vera Soie 103, 681 I think is a color, and I used 46 count pecan butter by Lakeside. And I do love the linen. I don't know why I felt like I needed as much as I did, because this thing was going to be tiny and it was really fast. So that is my blessing sampler. And you know, when I was at Symposium, Nicola was talking about making cross stitch your own, making your samplers your own and putting your name on it, and I always put my name on my blessing sampler because it's mine. So I do already have my blessing sampler picked out for next year, and it's going to be a lot less me customizing things and me just putting my name in a certain spot, so I'm happy about that. Okay, and so my one and only whip is housed in my gorgeous bag from my friend Jenny. And it is Baldaquin Birdies by Modern Folk Embroidery. I have not done a ton of stitching since I've been home, but this is a year-long sale that I am doing with my friends locally, and some are not local, but I saw this using this color combination on Sarah Stitchy Spot. A person, I think his name is Michael, shared this with her to show on her shares, and when he did, he showed this combination and I loved it. Now let me just tell you a little something about this. I was stitching this, this is 46 count Weeks Havana linen, and I was using cotton thread. I was using mascara by Weeks as well, and I bought 10 skeins just so I'd have enough. And the process wasn't enjoyable. I wanted the coverage that it was providing, but I just did not find it enjoyable at all. So when I got home, when I was at the attic, I purchased 3 spools of 103 Color Noir. And when I did that, I came home right away and I said, let me try and see if you can see any difference between the cotton and the silk. And the only difference I noticed was whenever I was stitching it. So I am going to continually stitch this, well, I will stitch the rest of this in the 103s in the Color Noir. And I will have a lot of weeks in the Color Mascara because it just was too tight and it wasn't enjoyable to stitch. I loved the coverage, but I was getting the same coverage from the 103s. So you can kind of see that there. It might be just a smidge sparser because this is all mascara and all of this is 103s. So it might be just a smidge sparser, but you cannot tell in person, and I don't think you'd be able to tell unless I told you. So that is my only whip. I haven't done, like I said, a ton of stitching since I've been home because I was gone for a week because I was on a work trip first, and it was just a lot. I just hadn't been home, and I just wanted to veg out in front of the TV with my husband when I did get home. So that is all of my stitching that I've done since the last time I saw you guys. I am going to jump right into the first place that I went. When I got to Denver, I met up with Sherry. She's Share Bear Stitcher, and if you guys aren't watching her Flosstube, please go check out her Flosstube. She does a lot of cool color conversions and fabric changes, and it's really fun. So I do love Sherry, and she picked me up from my hotel and took me to a stitching shop in Denver, Colorado. I had heard of a stitching shop and I really couldn't wait to go. And she treated me to lunch and it was just wonderful. The food was delicious. Everything was so good. But she got me this bag. I don't know if she made this bag or if she bought this bag. Sherry, I can't remember, but I love this bag. And then I know she made this for me. All the yellow goodness. It is a floss ring, and then there's some charms there, and it's just so super pretty. So thank you again, Sherry, for spoiling me. So in this bag, I have all of my haul from a stitching shop. So I got a couple of charts, and let me just tell you a little bit about these charts. I have seen them before. I had seen one of them before, but I hadn't seen them both. So I have never seen, and I don't really follow like every Rosewood Manor chart that comes out, but I got this. And I will tell you why I got Serendipity is because it had this cool floss accessory to go with it. I guess floss holder. I hope that's not the amount of colors that there are in this, but no matter what, I think I'm going to convert this to silks. And I'm definitely not stitching it on white. I'll probably do it like a grayish, something gray by Fox and Rabbit. They have a lot of good grays. So I got that. And I knew I was going to be meeting Barbara Hudson at Sampler Symposium, and I saw this chart, and I didn't get a chance to have her sign it or anything, but I absolutely love this chart. It's Elizabeth Poth, 1777, and I haven't even opened this up to see like what, okay, the Netherlands. So, but I just thought it was so fun, and it is symmetrical, so that's my jam. So I got those two. Okay, so didn't really think that shops carried Kohanas in the store. I thought you had to order them from them, but that wasn't the case. A stitching shop does have Kohanas in stock, and they have this color that I'm about to show you, which is the burgundy, and they have pink. So for all of my Kohana lovers that want to pick up just another pair and don't want to have to pay the tariffs on them, I can't tell you how much they were because I asked them to not give me a receipt when I was there. But these are the Kohanas I got because I did not have this color. And they're so pretty. So now I have one of the staples. I do have a pair of pink Kohanas, so I didn't get the pink ones too, but I just thought I needed these. So I got those. And then the rest of this is fabric. So I know that it's a little bit harder to get the Mason linen. And so when I walked in, I went over to their 46 count area, and wow, they had a lot of fabric and they had a lot of Mason linen. So I got Mason linen antique button box medium dark in 46. I got medium dark in the same thing, button box 46. These are all Mason linen. And they cut them and they serge them for you while you're there, which I thought was wonderful. Here is the medium light. Here is the sewing box medium light. And then I saw a couple of, that's all the Mason linen that they had in 46 count, so I bought a piece of each one. I got some Barb's Blend R&R. In fact, that Rosewood Manor would look great on this. So I got that. I got Color and Cotton, because Color and Cotton in 46 count is not the easiest thing to come by. So I got Salt Rock. This would also look good with that Rosewood Manor. I got Tinsmith. Isn't that pretty? And then they had Dames of the Needle. I got Dames of the Needle rice powder. Just gonna chuck these on the floor. Color and Cotton white tea. Very pretty. And Color and Cotton cottage stone. So just some great grays. So I know that you can order from a stitching shop online. I would also suggest just calling them and asking them like what they have in stock. Their prices were extremely good. And so check them out if you get a chance, or if you just are looking for some Mason linen or like Color and Cotton in 46. And then I got these gold eye tapestry needles. I don't even know like what the brand is, but I'm always down to try some new needles, even though I'm a peacemaker girl. So got those. And that is everything from a stitching shop. And I just want to show you guys this bag again, because now that everything's out of it, I just wanted to keep everything separate. But is this not the most beautiful bag? So good. And it's yellow. So got that. Okay, so then I go to Sampler Symposium, and I am going to show you all of the things that I got as far as the retreat projects. And I'm just going to do them in order, and then I'll show you the haul that I got from the attic. So first up is always Needlework Press. And look at this. I'm never throwing this envelope away. Like, I love this. And I put all of her stuff in here because there was a lot. So you'll see this, but it did come with this candlestick that you set the project on. And so we got that. I just wanted to make sure to show that. And here's all the materials. Look at all those yummy MPIs. Sorry for the crinkle. Okay, so in here are the directions on how to put this together. But we got this gift. This is a chart that Vicky did for us. Not for us. That has recently come out that Vicky reproduced. And this is an eyeglass case. So I got one of those. I'm just going to put that back there. Then we received, and I can't really show you the bird that went with this, but this is ML 1838 cross stitch bird. And it was inspired by this panel. And you put this panel together, and look at those golds, but I see yellow. And you put this together into this, let me see if I can find a picture. Okay, so I'm just gonna try to, there we go. So that is how we put this together. That's what it's based on. And you see the little stitched bird there? That is the bird that we stitch up. So we got 2 of these panels, and you can see the bottom, that's where we would put the candlestick. Now, do I think I'm gonna be talented enough to handle this, putting this together? Probably not. Or have the patience? Probably not. But I am going to have this put together because I think it's really beautiful. And let me just give you guys a closer. So the cross stitch pattern that we got from her was based on this. Right here. ML 1838. Just like very beautiful. And so that was first, and I was extremely pleased. I was like, we're starting off really good here. Okay, the next project was Barbara Hudson from Queenstown Sampler Designs. And there was a small included in it. That's a beautiful flower. And this was also charted in MPIs. But this is the sampler. This is Jemima v. Brokaw, 1831. And that picture does not do this sampler justice. I mean, first, I know there's a lot of over 1 in this, and I'm going to convert this completely to 103s. But I'm also going to do this in, obviously, Swasserfine. And it was just so beautiful. The model was gorgeous, and I cannot wait to stitch this because it's so different. And look at all these like little animals and this funky tree and these little quilt motifs. I just loved it. And so that was the first evening. And it came in this nice little project bag, which these are so nice to have. So got that. Next up was Katie Strachan. Get ready to be like completely blown away. So the first thing is we got these beautiful notebooks. I mean, like this is a very large size notebook, and it had this on the front, this on the back, just beautiful. And here is the project. This was so beautiful in person, and I will not be finishing this myself, but I want to stitch this. Now the fabric and all of the threads were provided, and let me show you this yumminess of these threads. Oh, I love this. And there's all different kinds of, it's not just 103s, but there are 103s. I believe there's Gobelin, no, Swatter-Parry. And she explains why she uses each one and why she chose the 40 count linen. And she just explains the materials so well. And I want to stitch this. Although, I mean, just it's upside down. That's so beautiful. And look at the shine, even in the picture. But I would like my background to be like to where I could actually see what I'm stitching, because otherwise I think I would really like lose my mind trying to stitch white and stitch white on white. But the end result would be this beautiful, gorgeous, and then just the finishing. And she did it in two different drums with 2 different materials to show us the difference. And the one that she decided to kit up for us, it looked so much better, especially in person. So thank you, Katie, as usual. Like, too fancy for me. And then after Katie was Nicola. Okay, so prepare yourself, because, and I'm sure you guys have seen this on Instagram, and I'm taking this out of the package because it's a package within a package, so the glare would be way strong. This is the sampler from Hands Across the Sea, Margaret Fisher. Now, I have never stitched a sampler with this kind of border. It was so beautiful. Look at that pink house and the yellow roof on the house, and I just love this. And if you don't think those colors are coming across on the picture, here they are. Look at these 103s. They're delicious. And I just went completely crazy. Now, I did pick up some black Swasserfine for all of this over one. And we got the 40 count linen to go with it. We received 40 count pyrite by Cedar River Linen. And that's not all. So Nicola always spoils us. A lot of the, and I might have dropped it. Nope. A lot of the Hands Across the Sea people received these. I think they received them at another retreat, but we can make an EPP pincushion with these. And then we also got the bag panel with a sampler on it to make a bag for our project. So I love that. So thank you so much, Nicola. I absolutely love that sampler. And last but certainly not least, and I am going to actually be starting this sampler immediately. As soon as I've got some other stitching underway, I'm going to start the sampler, and I already have it in a project bag. Look at this project bag. It's gorgeous. From Nicole's Needlework. And what am I talking about? I am talking about Fox and Rabbit, Elizabeth Grice, 1795. Oh my God. So again, like, I know the glare. Let me see if I can just get one page out and not make too big of a mess over here, because you guys have to see this. The model was stunning. Their presentation was hilarious and fun, like they always are. And so this is Elizabeth Grice. Okay, so this could be even considered patriotic, because look at those butterflies. I cannot wait to start this. Now, we were given 40 count hog bristle for the for the linen for the kit. And then look at those yummy 103s again. Beautiful kits. But Audrey and I, Audrey from Stitch Stitch Bead, she was my roommate. I don't know what's going on with my hair. And we were looking through some of the fabric that we purchased, or that I purchased, and I thought this Superstition Shadow by Tabby Cat would be perfect, because we wanted to stitch it on 46 count instead of 40. And there's no over one, so it'll be very easy. So that's what mine will be in. So I don't know if it's got a little bit different tone, but doing a floss toss with it, it's just gorgeous. And it's gonna work out perfect. So can't wait to start that. Have that in the queue to start. And that was all of the projects and all of the presentations that we received. We also had a talk from Becky Scott from Whitney Antiques, as well as, oh, I can't think of her name, but it was the Tennessee, I know there's something around here with it on it. I'm so sorry. I think her name was Jennifer. I'm not positive about that, but they both gave incredible talks about samplers, and it was really interesting. And we got a little gift from the Tennessee sampler one that I am not sure what happened to it, but it's in here somewhere, and I'm sure I will show it. Okay, so, oh, here it is. Just kidding. Tennessee sampler. This is for the survey, but this is an example of one of the, I think this was a cover of the book. There was a book that took them many years to write, and she did a talk about all the different samplers that were and how they collected them and the research they did on them. And so that is a picture of one of the antiques. Okay, so there's that. And then Krista Kramer was there from Just Stitching Along. She actually sat right behind me, and it was so wonderful to meet her. And she gave a gift as well, this little marking sampler. It is Mary Wright, 1887. And I don't know about you guys, but I need to jump on that Mondays with Mary. So that was so sweet of Krista. She gave everybody one of those. And then the attic always does such a beautiful, like, gift. And so we got some beautiful mini McBeans, and it has the attic's new logo on it and all the red goodness that Jean would love. And so thank you so much to Carolyn and the every single one of the ladies of the attic for that gift. Okay, so now that you've seen all of the wonderful projects and all the wonderful things from Sampler Symposium, I'm going to talk about my personal experience. So I get to Arizona on Thursday, and I get picked up by my friend Angie, Lunchbox Quilt. And Angie is a very good friend of mine and also known as my Uber driver. She takes me everywhere, and she always picks me up from the airport, and I love that. It's like a part of coming to Phoenix is that I have to see Angie. She has to pick me up. And we do breakfast, and I always come in super early. So she has several things for me. First, she did my book of days for me this year. She spiral bound it, and she added so many wonderful things to this. So this is the 2026 book of days. I am a book of days girl. I have done the book of days now for I think like 4 years, maybe 3 years. I'm not sure, but I write in my book of days before I start stitching, no matter what. And I had this, she had this all done up for me. She had the extra pages. She had folders. I wanted my Whip-Go board in here, which I will show. My Whip-Go board. I also have my breakdown for Baldaquin Birdies in here. And then, along with the extra pages, no, I also have my Secret Stitchy Sister 12 Days of Christmas list in here, so that whenever I get her something, and I'm also going to do an advent box for Audrey from Stitch Stitch Bead, then I can write them down in here and I can kind of keep track of it. And this is my favorite part. Several different shades of yellow extra pages, and they have little pockets in them, and then she added some stickers in there, so I would have stickers for all of the holidays and put a sticker on her birthday and put a sticker on my birthday. And her birthday is Monday, so can't wait for her to open our gift, my gift from her, for her. And then she also gifted me this gorgeous chart. I don't know if this is in print or what, but she asked me if I had it, and I was like, no, I do not have that, and I would love to have it if I could get it out of the package. Bountiful Harvest. It's in the Loose Feathers Abecedarian series, and this is number 4 by Blackbird. So thank you so much for that. The rest of my gifts were in this beautiful yellow forward bag, and it had a bunch of yellow tissue paper in it, but I got rid of that. She has recently had knee replacement surgery, and so she had a little bit of time on her hands. When she went to an event, I think it was in Lubbock, Texas, this lady was describing things as spicy, and ever since then she's like, oh, I'm making those little fobs and she made me one. I said, I want one that says spicy. So I got that one. It's so cute. And then one that says gem, and it's got the yellow. So thank you so much for those, Angie. And then, you know, she has her embroidery machine, and she's always making little pin cushions and things like this. If you were at summer school, you got a pin cushion from her, and they're so well made and they're so fun. So I got this one with some, and it's a button, yellow button. Thank you so much for that, Angie. And then over Christmas, she made these for her local stitching group, and I felt left out, and I was just like, Mom, I wish I would have thought of something like that or gotten something like that. And so she had an extra one, and she gave it to me. So thank you so much, Angie, for me being a brat and having to have two DMC colors because everybody else got them for Christmas and I didn't. So that was my first, it's not experience, but my first stop. Me and Angie did breakfast, and we exchanged gifts and did all the things. And then when we were at breakfast, actually Audrey shows up with everybody, and she is having breakfast, but she's a little bit behind us, and we're all getting ready to go to the attic so we can do a little shopping. And I meet her up in the room after we shop and everything. And so prepare yourself for my roommate gift from Audrey. I squealed whenever she gave this to me. She did gift some of her other friends animal crackers for their gifts, and if you know me, you know I'm not an animal cracker girl, so I squealed. So this was finished by Faye. If you watched her Hands Across the Sea finished parade, you got to see this in the parade, and now it's mine. So thank you so much for this, Audrey. It is so beautiful. It's stitched on 56 count, and I think, I'm not sure the color, maybe 6, it's not bright enough for 664. Not sure. Doesn't matter. I love this so much. And thank you, Faye, for doing such a beautiful, so let me just show you the sides. How perfect it is. So I got that from Audrey. I also received this gorgeous project bag, and inside this project bag was another gift, and it was all of these threads. And you're like, what? Why would she give you a bunch of... And it was a whip of hers that she didn't feel like she was going to finish, but that I recently got this chart from my friend Gina, who gave it to me for, I think it was Christmas, and it is Shepherd Song. I have wanted to stitch this forever, and Audrey said that she didn't think she was gonna finish it, and that she thought I might find joy, and asked me if I'd find joy in stitching this, finishing this, and I said absolutely. All the grass is done. So this is on, I don't remember the fabric, but it's 40 count, all the called for floss, and you could see how much of it was done. So that was another gift from Audrey. So thank you so much, Audrey, for all of my wonderful gifts, and best roommate ever. Best roommate ever. Also, there was a little scare where she was not in the room, and I thought she was in the room, and scared me to death. The only person that can replace her as a roommate is Kelly, but we'll talk about that in a minute. If you know, you know. Okay, so there were some other just wonderful gifts that I received that I just want to show. I bought Audrey and I both these from 5 Times Blessed. Nancy was there with her gorgeous daughters. And so I got that. And then I got the same exact ones for Audrey. And Georgia, and she had this in the most gorgeous setup, but she gifted me, and I feel like there's something else in this, but I don't know where it is. So this is color 109, 103. And this gorgeous little, you just snap this on and you open it up. And it's like a little like coin purse, or you can put your needles in there or anything. I just thought this was so cute. So thank you so much, Georgia. It was so fun sitting next to you too. And then Naomi, if you guys watch the Fox and Rabbit, Vlogmas, Christmas, you know that Naomi gifted Karen a bunch of these for every single day. And so we got some with the one squirrel on it. I love Audrey. I love her floss drops. And so I did get those from Audrey. After begging and pleading, she's like, don't you, how many of these do you need? I was just like, I just need them all. Oh, these mints that I've been dying to break into. These were also from Georgia. And then this. So, many people who know me know that I love the color yellow. This is like you could put your needles on this. This is Kohana. My friend, Kelly, gave me this out of her stitching spot, out of her stitching area for me to have. And it is so special because me and Kelly just connected and had the best time. She is a person who lifts people up. She is a person who makes you feel special, especially me. And she's the only other person that I would ever room with. So thank you so much for this, Kelly. Like I said, if you know, you know, but this means the world to me. And I can't wait to keep it in my stitching spot. So those were all of the gifts and things that I received at Sampler Symposium. I did do a little bit of shopping at the attic. So the attic is having a year-long stitch along. I'm not going to be keeping up with this. In fact, I'm not sure when I'll start this, but I had to have it. It was the Checkerboard House Sampler Eliza Gagan, 1842, by Shakespeare's Peddler. And it was the sampler of the month. So the call for linen is Cow Fodder by Names of the Needle. And I got mine in 46 count. And then I got all the 103s. And there is the chart. And she's big. But I had to have her. I love her so much. And then I did get, I just fell in love with these. I don't know. I saw the picture and I was like, I'm getting this. And I just love those pairs. And I am yet to stitch a pair, but I'm going to stitch some this year. So I got that. I also got some linen. And this may seem excessive, but it's very hard to get Mason linen. So when you see it, you have to get it. So I got the Mason linen pack for Haberdashery Light. And so that's 4 fat quarters. Yeah. So I got that. And then I got the Button Box Light set as well. And let's see what else this is. 56 count Duxbury by Fox and Rabbit. And you guys who know Fox and Rabbit linen, you know that this is usually a lot more mottled. But look how good that is. So I got a fat quarter of this, 56 count, so that'll last me 3,000 years. But I had to have that. And then this is 40 count. And this, oh, okay. I was like, huh? This is a Stitcher's half of carpet bag light, and I got a fat half of this. Really pretty. And I love Mason linen, and it's just so difficult to get, so I went ahead and got a half of that. Okay, and then let's see, that is all of my haul from the attic. Not that much, but just mainly lots of linen and lots of little things like that. I got some threads. Like I mentioned, I switched over the Baldaquin Birdies to this 103s Noir, so I got 3 of these, and I think that should be sufficient. I also got some painter's threads. This is color Nikki 117. And I have no plans for this. I just thought it was so cool. And sometimes you just want to get a highly variegated thread and do something that's monochromatic, and that's like my jam anyway. So I got that because I really loved it. Swasserfine for the over one in Maria Wells Newson. And I don't even know if this is the called for color. I just picked up one that I thought would look good. And then I have never stitched with these, and I just picked pretty colors. These have no rhyme or reason to why I got them, but I just wanted them. So I got Luminescence, and the color is Attic Blue. That is so pretty. I got 2 of these Cherry Tarts. And look at that yellow in there. So, and then you think this is, but this is Arctic Ice. This is a different blue. And did you guys notice my new quilt? Now, I've always wanted a swoon quilt, but I probably was never going to do one. So I bought the panel, bought some yardage for the border, and had a field day. And the quilting on it is like a variegated blue, and it is also like flowers going around. I wish you guys could see that better, but it is so gorgeous. And this is going to be my winter quilt, so we'll have this up during the winter months. Okay, let's see what else. And then when I got home, when I was with Angie, we went to a local quilt store in Arizona called Mulqueen's. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm terrible with that name. And I saw some fabric that I wanted, so I got this. Just for anybody who doesn't know, I live on a ranch, and my husband is a rancher, and we got lots of tractors, and I just thought this was so fun. So I got that. I also loved this. I've never seen this before. So anybody who knows me knows I'm pretty big into astrology. So I got this and this to make some project bags. So cool. It has all of the astrological signs. I got this just because it's yellow and it was so pretty. And I got like 2 yards of this. Why? It was on sale. It was like $5 a yard or something. So same with this. That is so pretty. That's going to make the prettiest bags ever. So I got that. And then this is running yardage, but it has little things on it. little affirmations, and some of them say Garden of Dreams, some of them say surround yourself with those who will help you bloom. And so I'm definitely gonna either have project bags made out of this or make some myself. And I know this person that needs one. Her name starts with K. Because this would be perfect for her, because she is my positive affirmation person now. So I got that. And then, okay, when also at Mole Queens, they had these needle minders. Now, I'm not a needle minder person, but I'm doing an advent box for a couple of different friends, and I just thought these were kind of cool, so, and different, and they're really strong. So, scissors, to thimble, tomato. And then I got this for myself. It's a pin, but I'm going to turn it into a needle minder. It's a yellow featherweight. It's the only one I'll be able to ever afford. So I got that. All that stuff I got at Mole Queens. And then, when I got home, and actually I saw Michelle from Tabby Cat Linen there, and she saw my name tag, and she was like, "Oh, you have linen that you ordered for me?" I was like, "Yeah," and she was just like, "Well, I should have brought it with me." And I was just like, "Oh, that's okay. I didn't even think about to ask you. I didn't know, when it would be ready or anything like that." But I used my voucher for Tabby Cat Linen and from the Hands Across the Sea red box from 2025. The one for 2026 is getting ready to be available to purchase, and I cannot wait. But I got some fat eighths of some colors that I had never seen or heard of from Tabby Cat, and one of them's Ragamuffin. Really different. And it's got like pink in it. So I got a fat eighth of that. This is going to be good for some, this is called Pamplemousse. These are all 46. And this will be good for some Valentine's Day stitching. It's really pink. Let's see if I can put it up again. Yeah. So I got that. And then the last one is called the Cat's Whiskers. And it is like this light blue. Oh, that's showing perfect. Light blue color. Baby blue. So you can see the blue and the pink. And I just got eighths of these because I didn't know. I'd never seen them, and I just saw them online, and I thought they might be cool, so I got them. So I got that. And then, nothing exciting. I also got a pack of endurance blades for my rotary cutters, because I am going to be quilting. Socialites 3 starts in a few weeks, so. And that's it. That's all my stuff. I need to get stitching since I have all this stuff now. And I hopefully will have a lot more stitching to show next time. I think I will. And I am home for a while until I have a couple of things that are coming up. My next stitchy trip is not until the end of April, so until the next time that I see you, happy stitching, and thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.